Before I truly do forget, I wanted to make sure I vlog this particular clipping. So if you didn't watch my unboxing and my vlog for this particular plant, I had to salvage this. This wasn't volunteer that I wanted to propagate it because I just got it and it would, it would be an extreme shock for the plant. Because when a plant is, when you first get your plant, that's already a shock. When they're moved in any sort of way, that's a shock. Some plants are just tougher than others, but that's a shock. You transplant them, that's another shock. So I never really try to propagate a plant until, I don't know, I've had the plant for at least a few months. At least they've shown that they're thriving. That means that they are looking really good and they've put out a few new growth. Some plants are faster than others. But this one in particular, I really had to. This is probably like my second plant that I had to do that as an emergency. Because when I did get it, it wasn't looking really good. I'm going to show you really close to the leaves. This is probably the nicest out of all of them in the bunch. But as you can see, this is also one of the newer ones. Let's turn to this one right here. There's a little bit of issue right there, like discoloration over here. And there's holes right here. There's a tear. We'll come to the other one. This is one plant, okay? This isn't like multiple plants. This is from one plant. As you can see right here is a bunch of holes, look like burnt holes, but that's all of the problems. This came with the plant. Like this wasn't from me, from my care, because I've only had this plant. These were clipped less than a week ago. And you see that, the burns and all that stuff. And the leaves just look really pathetic, like really, really bad. So that's another issue that I had. And there's a big tear over there. Not really too happy on the condition of this particular plant because it does look like it's already looking really bad before it was sent to me. It was somewhat misleading because they sent me a picture and this was perfect and they claim it was a month ago. I don't really know how accurate that is because they stated that this was also looking really good. Like there were no issues or whatever. And that I was so lucky because it was much bigger than the first batch of pictures that I got. So here it is, and like, just look at that. It's just really run down, and it's not like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I really wasn't given full information, And look at that one right there. So I usually, as I said before, and this one right here, I'm trying to save it, but this is a new growth and I don't expect this to open because that's just what happens. But what I'm trying to see is that this particular one is going to have roots and I could just snip that off and it should grow a new growth of leaf, hopefully. So I used to really just prefer to have some kind of medium for propagation. I feel like it's very easy for me and I feel like it's very successful for me. However, due to fungus gnat infestation, thank you Miracle Grow for that. I'm still battling with that and I'm testing a few things out. I just switched to water propagation. It just feels like it's easier to care for and the gnats will not reproduce because they actually die when they go into water. So I'm doing it that way. But when I do have a new plant, just so you know, they do get like quite a bit of shock when you do get them in your home. Because I mean, in nature, plants aren't really like always moving around, They're not really animals, so they do go through a huge shock with that. And of course when you do get it and if you do transplant it, it's another shock. So I typically do not do that to my plants. I usually wait for a few months when I do see new growth, like a lot of new growth, not just one new growth, a lot of new growth, and of course, hopefully like second or third growth in that particular branch, then I feel like, oh, it's thriving. It's getting healthy and it's doing well. And that's when I do feel like it's okay to propagate or clip them and try to propagate them. But this was really an emergency because it was either try to propagate it or just throw it out in the compost. That was it. So I do hope that this grows some roots and I can make the mother plant that I do have will have a fuller pot, because I would really like it like that. If not, I will probably put this in a different pot for itself. I haven't really made that decision because it hasn't really grown and I don't really know if this is actually going to root. I'm hoping it is. I really am, because I always want to try and save my clippings, or like accidental clippings, or like, you know, something like this in which it wasn't really planned. It's not really a super healthy plant, and it's not really a great candidate to be propagated. But, you know, I got to do what I got to do to try and just salvage it. And that's what I've been doing. I hope you enjoyed my video. You're going to hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell. And all my social media accounts are in the description section, as well as what I used for this particular plant. Anything else, just put it down in the comment section. I will respond as quick as possible. And if you want to talk about propagation, if you have any other tips, let me know down in the comment section. Anything about Syngoniums, because I'm very, very new to Syngoniums. This is supposedly a Syngonium gold butterfly. Do let me know if that is accurate. If not, I will gladly correct it, but please give me the correct information though, because I don't want to like say, oh, this is a different one. This is a different one. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you guys so much for the beautiful words, the loving support, and anything else, please put that down in the comment section. I love conversing with you guys when it comes to gardening, and let's talk about this particular plant. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Bye.